The way math is done in the MACC class is each child I converse with a child at the beginning of the year and then do an informal math assessment with them at the beginning of the year to figure out what level they're at. They may have just finished grade 4 math and they're in grade 5, but if they can skip up to grade 6 or do a couple of concepts in grade 5 and then go on to grade 6, then that's something that I want to support them in. We work at our own pace in math, so I'm not necessarily standing at the front of the room teaching 5th grade geometry. That rarely happens unless we're doing a fun math unit where all of us are doing something together. So it's very important that the students understand that math is individualized. They can work at the pace that they want to work at. However, they also have to show progress. It's one thing if you finish 3 chapters of math in a week, but if when we mark those 3 chapters and test you on those 3 chapters, you get 30 or 40% and fail, you're not going to be allowed to progress. We need to get those concepts down. So I work individually with the kids a lot in a math period in the classroom, like math time. That looks like, in my class at least, it looks like I sit at my math station, which is usually my desk or a table beside my desk, and then the kids are working independently on math and they come to me with any questions, and then I get up and walk around, because sometimes it's hard for kids to get up and come and ask a question, especially if they're anxious about their understanding of math. So I'll walk around and just check in and observe, see how they're doing, so that if they do have a question, then it can be answered. We then do testing.
Okay, let's get into homework. I know this will be a question and every teacher will have a different response.
Yeah.
But as far as your classroom, what is your perspective of homework and how much will the student have?
I would say if we're looking at grade level, my expectation is that if you're in the 5th grade, you should have at least 45 minutes of homework a day. If you're in the 6th grade, you should have an hour. And if you're in the 7th grade, you should have an hour and a half. That is the effort that you should be putting in order to adequately prepare you for the amount of work you're going to have to do in high school. And that's the only reason I refer to grade level when talking about homework. Homework is at home. There's only so much I can do to support them at home doing homework. I give opportunities for kids to complete homework in the classroom. We often have a period called work period, and we have at least 2 of those a week, and it's like an open block where kids can work on what they want to work on. Because big projects, I don't like sending those home for homework. They often come back not authentic to the child when a project is sent home. I want the children to work on big projects at their own pace with teacher support, because I'm the one who's going to be assessing it. So if anyone's going to realize, oh, something is missing, it's going to be me. So,
and it's the whole thing of process versus product.
Absolutely. Mm-hmm. The process is just as important. Hence the reason I assess the process just equitably to the end result. The process is half the battle. Mm-hmm. Very, very basic, typical homework. Nothing out of the ordinary. Stuff that's really outside what they're used to, we really specifically work on that at school, because I want to be able to provide as much support as possible, and I want them to have the opportunity to lean over and say, how do I do this again? To their peer, because that is just so valuable to them when they can ask a peer rather than a parent or a teacher. They just listen to each other better.
Well, and that's why then they're all similarly abled.
Exactly.
So it works in this classroom.
Yes. We interact with the other classes on a class-by-class level. Sports day, extracurricular sports teams, class play, school musical, all that kind
You're
of
part of
thing.
the school
We're
environment.
part of the school environment. We are not the nerd herd off in a room. We're not that. I work really hard to make sure that if so-and-so wants to be on the soccer team, then be on the soccer team.
Yeah.
If you want to be in the school play, be in the school play. If you want to write the best speech ever for Speech Fest, do it.
Right.
And we're part of the school. We're supportive of each other in the classroom. We take care of each other. So I'm quite involved in the school as a teacher at that school, and I really encourage the kids to become involved as well within their comfort zone. And sometimes if I can see a little bit of something in them, I will push them to explore something. I would never force them. That's not something. But because that goes against the whole supportive aspect that we have in the classroom. But I definitely want them to try new things and have a really great, well-rounded experience. We do hip hop presentations for PE. We are part of the track and field. We participate in any of the extracurricular activities that the school puts on, science fair, speech fest, track and field. We participate in all of them. But I really support the kids in when they want to be really involved in things like that. So I think because I'm so involved in this school, the kids feel more comfortable becoming involved with something because they know they have a familiar face.
That's right.
A lot of them, that's not their home school. So that not only are they coming to a new school and trying to get involved in things they may have been involved in at their old school, but that's not necessarily comfortable for them. So having my face there, having other students in the class who are like, oh yeah, I did soccer last year. Come on, it'll be great. So having the peer support, having the teacher support, I think it's important for them to be involved in the extracurricular because life is not so focused that you're only involved in one specific thing. Life has so many opportunities, and so I believe that it's important for them to explore those opportunities in elementary school so that they're comfortable exploring it in high school and comfortable exploring it in university so that when they move on in their lives and start their careers as young adults, they are not so focused on that one area and they have a really well-rounded life.
Yeah, well balanced. So how do you communicate with parents?
My preferred way, and the way I communicate the best with parents, is by email. I'm really, really good at communicating by email with parents. That's my preferred method. It's easy for me to do because I've always got my iPad, my iPhone, my computer handy. I'm very techie in the classroom, so I think that's great for the kids too because they're super into how techie we are. We have a lot of nice equipment in the classroom. So my preferred method is by email. I'm not fantastic at using the phone. I mean, I admit it 100%. I'm not even good at using the phone with my own family. A little team of 3, your child, me, and you as parents are so important to support your child. And so communication with parents is very important to me. Issues that may come up, I really try hard to make sure a parent is not bamboozled by a report card. No parent likes to get a report card that says, oh, your kid didn't do their homework for 4 weeks straight. That wouldn't be a surprise in our classroom. You would know whether it's a email sent, whether it's something in the planner. We communicate a lot with planners as well. The students use their planners to organize their homework and organize the events that are happening in the school. So I really encourage parents to check the planner because often they're... So I like to use the analogy that at the beginning of the year, I hold your hand really tightly. And then midway through the year, we start to let go. And then by the end of the year, you're standing over there, but I'm looking over at you, watching you. So in that way, I give them more freedom as they learn and acquire the skills they need to complete the work that's required. So I would never give an individual